Okay, so what am I here to talk about? Myself. That is actually really true, kind of. Anyways, so my roommate is actually an introvert, so it's kind of like, really? Okay, I'm okay with this. So I remember at one point, I I was talking to her, and she, um, what was it? I woke up and I was like, "Good morning," and she didn't really say anything, and I was like, "Okay, so she's not like wanting to talk or whatever." It's like, okay, you know what? I totally get it. It's all good, and so like I just let her be, and then like for the rest of the day, I was sort of chill, I guess. Like I did my own thing, she did her own thing. We were in the room together, and so I'm stirring this up. So what it is that it's vitamin C inside of this stuff, and instead of, or in which you mix it with water, and instead of buying a whole nother thing of vitamin C, which I could do, I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this stuff up because it's there, so why not? So anyways, I have quite a bit of it, probably enough for like a month or two. Um, I'm going to do homework that is due today. Anyways, we were talking, and maybe a little that's due tomorrow since I have quite a bit. Yeah, I was like, you know what, I understand, especially like you need time or like you're not really in the mood to like talk or whatever. And she got excited, I think, just a little bit. And she's like, finally, somebody who gets it. Because basically, in my case, I was like, you know what, not like not everyone's in the mood to chat all the time and like interact and talk and all that jazz. And I'm like, I totally get it. Like, I totally understand. And so I think she was happy because, like, sometimes her relationships or some of the relationships she's been in, they're like, oh man, you haven't sent me a message all day. I get it. Some people are extroverts and they're like, I really want to talk to you and, like, interact with you and all that. And they enjoy interacting with people constantly. But in her case, she was like, no, like, I have nothing else to tell you and update you about. And so, like, they're like, you haven't messaged me all day. And I'm like, communication goes a two-way street. Like, if you really want my attention that badly, then go ahead and like send me a message that, hey, like, what's going on? How are you? Hey, this is what's going on with me. Because sometimes it might be that the other person has no idea what to talk about, which happens with me quite often. So, yeah. Anyways, I was like, yeah, communication is a two-way street. Why are people asking like, why haven't you messaged me all day? Sometimes they're just like here. Like for example, yesterday she was in the room the entire day. She ate her meals. She did to-go orders. She did Sonic and Subway. So she went there, got the stuff, came back here, and she warned me. She told me on Thursday that she does not. Actually, I'll go ahead and close out this. She warned me that basically on Fridays she goes ahead and just basically plays on her whatever Game Boy, or I don't know what it's called anymore. It's like a handheld device in which she can play games. And she warned me that she was basically going to be on there like all day and she wasn't wanting to like interact or talk with anyone. I was like, okay, I get it. And so basically I barely said anything. Like as I was leaving, I went ahead and said bye. I'm like gone for the day. And she sounded like very irritated whenever I did that. So now I understand, like, don't even say bye to her, just be like, I'm gone. But I'll go ahead and talk to her about it whenever she gets back. I think she's visiting her grandmother's right now. But yeah, I'll go ahead and talk to her and just clarify if she either A, doesn't want to, if it's because she didn't want to be talked to at all on Friday, or if B, is because, like, she really doesn't want me to say bye or something, or just like interact me occasionally, but not like, yeah. So, and I'm like, I totally get it. And then, so I left. I was gone for several hours, and then I eventually came back. And then, like sometimes whenever I get back from a place, I'm like, oh, like here's this and this and this, and let me tell you all about it. So I started talking to her about it, and then like I stopped and I was like, wait a minute, Friday. And I was like, are you comfortable with me talking to you, or do you like still need your own time? And she like froze and she was like, I was like, you know what? I totally understand. And she's like, she's like, I'm sorry. I was like, oh no, it's okay. That's why I asked because I would like, I want to respect her privacy and then also the time that she needs to be by herself. So I'm like, I totally get it. And then I also realize like sometimes she wants to talk and interact with me, but in my case, I'm like, I'm busy with homework that is due in a procrastinator's world. So what I'm going to have to do from now on is basically whenever I want to do homework, and I don't mind. Like I can totally adjust. Like she wants to interact, and in my case, I need to adjust my school schedule. And she has a wonderful school schedule. It's basically where she does homework. For a couple hours during the daytime, and then whenever it's due on Sunday, it's all done. And I'm like, that is super good job, really good job. So there you go. I got the sticker, so I'm gonna put it on my binder because why not? Okay, I think that has to actually do with hot air balloons. So, anyways, yeah, I was like, okay, cool, that's totally fine. So, anyways, yeah, I think whenever I'm doing homework, I'm gonna have to go up and then actually work on it. So, yeah, and then work on it throughout the day and such. I need to wash this. It's sort of dirty, like on the outside right here. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I think from now on, I'm gonna have to get fingernail polish remover because it's starting to, like, I'm peeled all of this off by myself. So yeah, I definitely think I want to get fingernail polish remover. And it's like because it's like a layer instead of like all glued into my fingernail. I'm like, hey, there's a little nick, and then I just pull it off. So except for this one and like the ends of my fingernails. So yeah, um, yeah, I think I'll keep fingernail polish off for like a couple weeks. But yeah, so there was that. What was another story I thought of? Oh yeah. So last night I was going from the, I guess, lounge room down to back down here. And as I was coming back down here, like a lady walked on her phone and she's like, I'm scared. And her friend was like, no, you're not scared. You're like nervous. And so the lady explained to me, and she's like probably early teens, that basically she's never done this before where she's meeting up with a guy. And I was like, okay. And as I'm listening to this conversation, like her talking and such, and she's like, yeah, he owes me like a spanking or whatever. And I'm just like, you can say no. You can totally make up that you're sick or whatever. Because, like, what I've learned, like, just because I'm still, uh, yeah, anyways, um, what I have learned is basically, according to my friend, and then also according to what I've read, a person might be in the mood for sex at like 8 a.m., but at the same time, if they're not in the mood for sex by like 6 p.m., a couple things is that a person can try and romanticize the person, like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and cook, clean, whatever you need, in order to try and get them in the mood. Yeah, in order to try and get them in the mood. But sometimes, like, in spite of everything, a person still isn't in the mood. And that's okay. And so in her case, I'm just like, lady, I think you feel like you're being coerced to do it. Like, I need to do it. Ma'am, this isn't a homework assignment where you have to do it by a certain date or by a certain time. This is supposed to, like, having sex is honestly supposed to be like very enjoyable, and it's supposed to be between two people who actually love and care about each other. Because if you don't have that, then and it's more like it can be really, really miserable, basically, just from what I've read, where you have sex. It's like this wasn't fun at all for me. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, you can say no. You can go ahead and make up a sick, like saying that you're sick or whatever. And so what it is that we got out of the elevator onto the first floor, and then she sort of hid behind a pillar area, and then I went to my room, and I'm like, ma'am, you can say no. Like, even if you get into his car or whatever, you can still be like, you know what, never mind, I'm gonna go. And as a man, like if he is a man, he needs to totally respect that. And it can be like, you know what, let's go ahead and plan a few dates. And yeah, and like as a female, you can be like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable right now, and then maybe you can be like right now, but maybe in the future, and then be like, let's go ahead and build up to that a little bit better, so that way it's not just like I'm attracted to this guy and I'm flirting with this guy, but like I'm actually really like I love him and I care for him. So yeah, I'm just like, lady, like really, like yeah, not like not being a virgin is almost common nowadays. I know like two other guys who are not virgins. So not being a virgin is almost common nowadays. Whereas like whenever a person, like I've talked to a few people who are may have had sex since they were like 12, 13, 14 years old, and they've been having sex for like 30 years or so. And some people, not all people, just to clarify. And I'm just like, yeah, basically like I talked to them and they're like, or I'm like, yeah, I'm still a virgin. And they're like, oh man, like I wish I didn't have sex that young. And, you know, or like I wish I was still a virgin. Well, may not like still a virgin, but I wish I had made the choice that you had, basically. And it's like, yeah, I totally get it. Like I do. Because once you have sex, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you either want it more or it's like that was it. And for me, my leg is itchy and I'm like, I bet it's because I need lotion. Okay. And I'm having to like take off my pants. Yes, I am totally stripping behind the scenes. Okay. Yay. It's on my upper thigh also. Yeah, I finally put lotion. Like, I came into my room, my roommate, of course, was gone, and I had just a towel wrapped around me with my underwear. And I went ahead and, like, put lotion all over my body because I was like, I really do need lotion on myself, whether I like it or not. Maybe I should be outside more so I can, like, sweat or glisten. Or so, yeah. There we go. Okay, so this I also need. I remembered something. I need to get a new one of these. I really need to use the mouthwash more. Because I have it. Did not realize I used that much of it, but I have it. And I want to use it until it's completely gone. Especially sometime this semester. So, yeah. But yeah, in my mind's eye, I'm just like, sex needs to be something that's very enjoyable and, like, a lot of fun. And basically, I've heard sometimes it can be very awkward. But at the same time, I think that if two people actually care about each other instead of being like, I just want to feel good. And it's all about me, but it's like it's me, but then also it's about the other person. So I honestly think that if you have more so of that mindset versus like I want to feel good and it doesn't matter about the other person, but you actually care about the other person, then it can be like, even if it's awkward, you're like figuring out what works and what doesn't. And yeah, so. But that's my 2 cents on sex because so says the Virgin. Yeah. So, anyways. I have so much stuff. I have stuff in storage. I have so much stuff in storage. Anyways, you know what's interesting about these mirrors? Is that they can actually lean forward. So you go ahead and pull that. So that's her side. And it leans forward, and yeah, basically, which I think is kind of cool. So that way it leans down and you can like see your back or your lower back, or let's say you try an outfit and you're like, I want to see my full self because I'm kind of short, and so you like lean it down and then you can see your entire body versus like I can only see like here up. So yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Yeah, I know you're seeing this video at like 9 p.m. ish. Yeah. I did make this video about 6 actually, but because I was like, I'll make a video around 9 or 10, I was like, let me go ahead and just, yeah, this stuff was on my mind, so yeah. Anyways, talk to you later. Hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I will respond either tonight or tomorrow. And I still need to do a review on the video. By the way, I do like the video. It's nice. So thank you. Bye.